We were here during the CAE revolution, and now the digital twin revolution. Some $2 trillion of ecosystem here in Europe that we partner with and that we have the privilege of supporting. What comes out of that is a new revolution that's happening. As you know, everything that moves will be robotics. Everything that moves will be AI driven.
As long as NVIDIA is better than what we make, we'll keep buying from NVIDIA.
Is that the case right now?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're obviously buying them for XAI, the Memphis.
Big time.
Big time, right?
Elon Musk and Jensen Huang are now on the same page. NVIDIA can't be stopped anymore, and neither can Elon. NVIDIA's new chip, Blackwell, is so powerful it's changing what AI and robotics can do in the real world. Musk is building Tesla's future on it, scaling up to 1 million GPUs to power autonomous cars and humanoid robots. And Huang says this is just the beginning. In this video, we'll break down how NVIDIA's new hardware is accelerating Musk's vision, why it might be too powerful to control, and what this means for the future of AI and robotics. Let's get into it.
At that time when millions of these things are coming off of a line like we just saw with cars, they're going to be fully autonomous. They're going to come off, and the way you've described it, they're going to be able to come in my house, and I'm going to be able to say, all right, do the dishes. Now I need you to walk the dog.
Absolutely.
Hold the baby.
In fact, you really won't even need to. It'll figure out what you probably want and do what you probably want without you even having to ask.
How many GPUs are you going to need for that?
Well, quite a few GPUs. We do have our own program called Dojo for training, which I think will be helpful.
Right now it's contributing about 5% towards self-driving, right?
Yeah. So
is that the one in New York, in New York State? Dojo?
Yeah, it's in New York. So but we expect to still buy a lot of GPUs from NVIDIA, some from AMD, and maybe from others. As long as NVIDIA is better than what we make, we'll keep buying from NVIDIA.
Is that the case right now?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're obviously buying them for XAI, the Memphis.
Big time.
Big time, right?
Yeah, XAI is building the most powerful. We have the most powerful. I think we have the most powerful training cluster in the world right now, which is over 200,000 GPUs training coherently. You're at
200,000 already now.
Yes.
There in Memphis, that facility that you
yes.
put okay.
Yes.
And where are you going?
And we'll be at the million GPU level in the location just near Memphis.
Wait, a million GPUs for a new location, or 800,000 additional GPUs?
A million of the next generation GPUs.
So Blackwell.
Well, yeah.
Tesla already operates over 200,000 NVIDIA GPUs for training AI. That's larger than any known corporate AI cluster. And this isn't just for cars. Musk's long-term plan involves humanoid robots, starting with Tesla's Optimus, being deployed into homes, hospitals, and factories. He's said they'll be able to provide nearly any service at extremely low cost. To get there, Tesla needs NVIDIA's hardware, especially the H100, which is currently the industry's most powerful chip for AI training. Musk said they're increasing from 35,000 to 85,000 H100s by the end of the year, and spending $10 billion in 2025 on AI infrastructure, up to $4 billion of that on NVIDIA chips alone. But behind the scenes, things aren't going smoothly. Internal NVIDIA emails show Musk redirected 12,000 H100 GPUs originally scheduled for Tesla to X, his social media company. This move delayed Tesla's GPU build-out by months, creating tension with shareholders who are already concerned about missed deadlines and falling EV sales. NVIDIA staff confirmed that Musk's public statements about Tesla's procurement conflict with actual orders and delivery timelines. Tesla's AI supercomputers in Buffalo and Texas were not yet ready to install the hardware, so the chips were rerouted to X and XAI, the AI startup also run by Musk. NVIDIA is facing extreme demand. Their CEO, Jensen Huang, said every chip they manufacture is being claimed by major tech firms. Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, OpenAI, and now Musk are all competing for the same limited supply of H100s and the upcoming Blackwell chips. This competition isn't just technical, it's geopolitical. The companies that control this level of AI compute will shape national security, automation, and labor in the next decade. Huang has said the robotics market alone will become a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and Optimus is the most likely product to scale first. Elon and Jensen agree on one thing. Once this level of AI is deployed into physical machines, with real-world decision-making and movement, it becomes very hard to manage or reverse. The systems are trained across massive datasets and millions of parameters. They learn continuously. With enough compute, the models evolve on their own. Now that Tesla, X, and xAI are all building supercomputers at this scale, powered by NVIDIA, the concern is no longer whether it's possible. The concern is whether it can be controlled. Let's hear what Jensen Huang has to say.
We spend most of our time generating words for our own mind, generating images for our own mind before we produce it. And so the thinking machine is really architecturally what Grace Blackwell was designed to do. It was designed to be one giant GPU. I compared it to GeForce for a good reason. GeForce is one GPU. So is GB200. It is one giant virtual GPU. Now we had to disaggregate it into a whole bunch of components, create a bunch of new networking technology and SerDes technology, incredibly low power, high energy efficiency interconnects to connect all of these chips and systems together into one virtual GPU. This is the Hopper version. This is the world famous Hopper system. This 8 GPUs connected together on NVLink. What's not shown here is a CPU tray. A CPU tray with dual CPU and system memory that sits on top. Together, this represents one node of an AI supercomputer. About $500,000. This is the Hopper system. This is the system that really put us on the face of the map of AI. And it was under allocation for a very long time because the market took off so quickly. But this is the famous Hopper system. Well, this entire system, including the CPU, is replaced by this Grace Blackwell node. This is one compute tray. Right here will replace that entire system. It is fully liquid cooled. And the CPUs are integrated, directly connected to the GPUs. So you could see it here, 2 CPUs, 4 GPUs is more performant than that entire system. But what's amazing is this. We wanted to connect a whole bunch of these systems together. How would you connect all of these together was really hard for us to imagine. So we disaggregated it. What we did was we took that entire motherboard, we disaggregated into this and this. This is the revolutionary NVLink system. Scaling out computing is not that hard. Just connect more CPUs with Ethernet. Scaling out is not hard. Scaling up is incredibly hard. You can only build as large of a computer as you can build. The amount of technology and electronics that you could fit into one memory model is incredibly hard to do. And so what we decided to do was we created a new interconnect called NVLink. NVLink is a memory semantics interconnect. It's a compute fabric, not a network. It directly connects to the CPUs of all of these different NVLink systems, compute nodes. This is the switch. 9 of these stands on top. 9 of it sits on the bottom. In the middle are the NVLink switches. And what connects it together is this miracle. This is the NVLink spine. This is 100% copper. Copper coax. It directly connects all of the NVLink chips to all of the GPUs, directly connected over this entire spine, so that every single 144 Blackwell dies, or in 72 different packages, are talking to each other at the same time without blocking, all across this NVLink spine. The bandwidth of this is about 130 terabytes per second. 132, I know. No, wait for it. 130 terabytes per second. If it's in bits, 130 terabytes per second. It is more than the data rate of the peak traffic of the world's entire internet traffic on this backplane. And yeah. So this is how you shrink the internet into 60 pounds. NVLink. And so we did all that because the way a computer is considered, the way you think about computers is going to be fundamentally different in the future, and I'll spend more time on this, but it was designed to give Blackwell a giant leap above Hopper.
Jensen Huang took the stage in Paris and laid out exactly how NVIDIA is enabling the kind of scale Elon Musk is chasing, and why it's getting harder to keep these systems within human control. He introduced the GB200 Blackwell node, a new AI computing platform that replaces NVIDIA's previous high-end system, Hopper, which was already $500,000 per unit. And now, one Blackwell node is more powerful, more efficient, and fully liquid-cooled. It integrates CPUs and GPUs directly, which cuts out latency and dramatically boosts performance. But what matters most is how it scales. Jensen explained that connecting a few chips together isn't hard. Connecting 144 AI chips across 72 GPU modules into one unified supercomputer, that's the breakthrough. And NVIDIA did it with something they call NVLink, a proprietary interconnect that acts like the nervous system for the world's most powerful AI systems. The NVLink spine, made entirely of copper, links every chip in the system with no bottlenecks, delivering 130 terabytes per second of bandwidth. That's more than the entire world's internet traffic, running through a system that weighs about 60 pounds. This is how Tesla, xAI, and others can now train trillion parameter models across massive GPU clusters without traditional limitations. And this is why Elon is racing to build supercomputers with 1 million GPUs, systems that don't just analyze data, but simulate the real world, predict behavior, and power robots that interact in human environments. But this level of integration also creates risk. When you scale AI this aggressively, to the point where a single rack can handle more data than the entire internet, you're no longer dealing with predictable systems. You're building structures where every part of the network is learning, adapting, and reasoning in real time. This is what Elon hinted at when he said these machines will know what you want before you do. And it's what Jensen confirmed. The infrastructure now exists to run fully autonomous AI systems, trained across interconnected memory and compute units at global scale. Once this kind of compute becomes widely available, and robots are built on top of it, you're not training a tool. You're enabling autonomous agents with physical capabilities, and the margin for error drops to zero. Tesla, X, and xAI are already competing for this hardware. Musk has been rerouting shipments, consolidating GPU clusters, and using NVIDIA's Blackwell chips to power both his self-driving goals and his AI ambitions. Jensen's keynote makes one thing clear: the infrastructure is no longer the barrier. Now the question is, can we still control what we've built once it's fully operational? That's what Elon and Jensen are both pointing at, and it's closer than most people realize.
As you know, everything that moves will be robotics. Everything that moves will be AI-driven. And the car is the most obvious next one. NVIDIA builds the AI supercomputers to train the model. The AI supercomputer for Omniverse digital twins. We also build the AI supercomputers for the robots itself. In every single case, whether it's in the cloud, for Omniverse, or in the car, we offer the entire stack. The computer itself, the operating system that runs on top of this computer, which is different in every single case. This computer, high speed, sensor rich, must be functional safe. In no circumstance could it fail completely. And so the safety requirement's incredibly high. And now we have an incredible model that sits on top of it. This model that sits on top of it is a transformer model. It's a reasoning model, and it takes sensor in, you tell it what you want it to do, and it will drive you there. Takes pixels in, and it generates path plans output. So it's a generative AI model based on transformers. Incredible technology. NVIDIA's AI team, AV team, is incredible. This is the only team that I know that has won end-to-end self-driving car challenge at CVPR 2 years in a row. And so they're the winner again this year. Let's take a look at the video. Yep, thank you.
Like any driver, autonomous vehicles operate in a world full of unpredictable and potentially safety-critical scenarios. NVIDIA Drive, built on the Halo safety system, lets developers build safe autonomous vehicles with diverse software stacks and sensors and redundant computers. It starts with training. Safe AVs need massive amounts of diverse data to be able to address edge cases. But real-world data is limited. Developers use NVIDIA Omniverse and Cosmos to reconstruct the real world and generate realistic synthetic training data to bring diversity to the AV model. The model can perceive and reason about its environment, predict future outcomes, and generate a motion plan. And for decision-making diversity, an independent classical stack runs in parallel. Guardrails monitor safe performance, and in cases of anomalies, calls the arbitrator to make an emergency stop. Further diversity and redundancy are built into the sensor and compute architecture. Each sensor connects to redundant computers. So even if a sensor or computer fails, the vehicle stays safe and operational. And in the event of a critical failure, the system can execute a minimum risk maneuver, like pulling over to the shoulder. Safety is foundational to autonomous driving. NVIDIA Drive lets developers worldwide integrate Halos into their own products to build the next generation of safe AVs.
A billion cars on the road, 10,000 miles a year on average, 10 trillion miles. The future of autonomous driving is obviously gigantic, and it's going to be powered by AI. This is the next gigantic opportunity, and we're working with enormous companies and really fantastic companies around the world to make this possible. At the core of everything we do here with AV is safety. And we're really, really proud of our Halo system. It starts with the architecture of the chip, and then the chip design, and the systems design, the operating system, the AI models, the methodology of developing the software, the way we test it, everything from the way we train the models, the data we provide for the models, all the way to the way we evaluate the models. NVIDIA's Halo system and our AV safety team and capabilities are absolutely world-renowned. This computer was the first one to be software-defined. The world's first software-defined, completely 100% software-defined, AI-driven software, AI-driven stack for AVs. We've been at this now for coming up on 10 years. And so this capability is world-renowned, and I'm really proud of it. The same thing that's happening for cars is happening for a new industry. As I mentioned earlier, if you can generate video from prompts, if AI can perceive, it can reason, and it can generate videos and words and images, and just now with cars, the path, the steering wheel path, why can't it also generate locomotion abilities and articulation abilities? So that fundamental ability for AI to revolutionize one of the hardest robotics problems is around the corner. Humanoid robots are going to be a thing. We now know how to build these things, train these things, and operate these things. Humanoid robotics is going to potentially be one of the largest industries ever. And it requires companies who know how to manufacture things of extraordinary capabilities. This speaks of the European countries. So much of the world's industries are based here. I think this is going to be a giant opportunity. Well, let's say it's 1 billion robots around the world. The idea that there'll be 1 billion robots is a very sensible thing. Now, why hasn't it happened? Well, the reason for that is simple. Today's robots are too hard to program. Only the largest companies can afford to install a robot, get it to teach it, program it to do exactly the right things, keep it sufficiently surrounded so that it's safe. That's the reason why the world's largest car companies all have robots. They're large enough, the work is sufficiently repetitive, the industry is at a sufficient scale that you could deploy robots into those factories. Almost everybody who's a Mittelstand or small, medium companies or mom and pop restaurants or stores or warehouses, it's impossible to have that programming capability until now. We're going to give you essentially robots where you could teach them. They'll learn from you. Just as we were talking about agentic AI, we now have humanoid AI that can learn from your teaching using toolkits that are very consistent with the NEMO toolkits I spoke about. NVIDIA here as well is built in 3-layer stack. We build the computer, the Thor computer. Dev kit looks a little bit like this. This is a robotic computer, completely self-contained. Dev kit sits on your desk. These are all the sensors. And inside is a little supercomputer Thor chip. Just really, really incredible. And these, yep. Yeah. I could imagine getting one of these inserted like that. Okay. Thank you, Janine. And so that's the Thor processor. On top is an operating system designed for robotics, and on top of that, transformer models that take sensor and instructions and transforms it and generates flight or paths and motor controls for arm articulation, finger articulation, and of course your legs articulation. Now, the big challenge of humanoid robotics is the amount of data necessary to train it is very, very hard to get. And so the question is, how do you do that? Well, the way you solve that problem is to back in Omniverse, a digital twin world that obeys the laws of physics. And this is an incredible piece of work that we're doing. Don't do it. Don't. Oh, my fault. Okay, these are robots. We develop computers to simulate, to train them, computers to simulate them, and the computer that goes inside them. There's a whole bunch of human robotics companies being built around the world. They all see the great opportunity to revolutionize this new device, if you will. And the progress is going incredibly fast. And the way that they all learn is they learn in a virtual world. And this virtual world has to obey the laws of physics. And recently, we announced a big partnership with Disney Research and DeepMind. And we're going to work together to create the world's most sophisticated physics simulation. And I'm just trying to figure out, at this point, how to go to that slide. Teach me. Who's with me? This is what happens when you only rehearse once. Okay, so this incredible system is where an AI learns how to be an AI. Let me show it to you. We have a special guest. Your name is Greg. Are you a petite garçon or petite fille? Okay. Greg is a little girl. Now, look at this. Greg learned how to walk inside Omniverse, obeying the laws of physics. But inside Omniverse, we created hundreds of thousands of scenarios. Then finally, when Greg learned how to operate and walk and manipulate in those environments on sand and on gravel, on slippery floors, on concrete, on carpet, then when Greg comes into the physical world is just 100,001 version of the world. And so you learn how to walk in the virtual world, and look at you now. Can you jump? Wow. Can you dance? Well, I just want to let you know, I am the keynote presenter. So I need you to behave. I need you to behave for a few seconds.
Jensen Huang ended with a clear message. Robots that learn, move, and think, like humans, are no longer theoretical. The full stack is built. NVIDIA is producing the chips, the software, and the simulation environments needed to train and deploy them at scale. Their new Thor processor is a compact robotics supercomputer. It runs transformer models that take in sensor data and generate real-time control of arms, hands, and legs. It's paired with Omniverse and Cosmos, virtual worlds that obey the laws of physics and generate the massive training data needed for robot learning. This is exactly the infrastructure Elon Musk is racing to acquire. Tesla's Optimus robot, Musk's push for 1 million NVIDIA GPUs, and the planned $10 billion in AI spending are all aimed at one thing: building AI systems that don't just respond, they reason and act. Musk says there could be tens of billions of humanoid robots, capable of replacing human labor across every industry. Jensen agrees and calls this the next multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. But at this scale, the challenge shifts. NVIDIA is creating hardware so powerful that a single rack can train models with more bandwidth than the entire global internet. These systems will live inside autonomous cars, homes, factories, and eventually in every part of the economy. Musk's vision depends on this hardware, but he's also diverting chips between Tesla and his other companies like xAI and X, raising questions about focus, control, and governance. Both leaders are betting everything on this future, and they're building the tools to make it happen. The question now isn't whether the hardware works. It does. The question is, who controls what it creates? Let us know what you think. Is this the breakthrough humanity needs? Or a turning point we haven't prepared for? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us as we cover the truth behind AI, robotics, and the companies shaping the next era.
One of the things that's really revolutionary about the version 12 of Tesla's full self-driving is that it's an end-to-end generative model, and it learns from watching videos, surround video, and it learns about how to drive end-to-end and using generative AI. Predict the path and the how to steer how to understand and how to steer the car. And so the technology is really revolutionary.
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. In the last 60 years, this is the biggest reinvention that you and I have seen. This is incredibly exciting technology. You want to engage it. The impact to your company is incredible, and you want to be an early adopter. This is the beginning of a decade of transformation, but you don't want to be second. This is the time you want to be first.
In a world that's rapidly advancing, one innovation is about to change everything. We've heard the promise of autonomous vehicles for years, but now, thanks to the vision of Elon Musk and a groundbreaking leap in artificial intelligence, we're standing on the precipice of something far more profound. This is about redefining how we interact with technology, how we navigate our world, and ultimately, how we live our lives. Elon Musk's dream of fully self-driving cars has always been ambitious. From Tesla's early breakthroughs to its promise of safer, smarter roads, we've been inching closer to a future where the car isn't just a means of transportation. It's a mobile brain, learning and evolving on its own. But now, the game has changed. Enter Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, whose latest announcement has not just moved the goalposts, it's completely shifted the field. Jensen reveals the fundamental technology that will make it all possible. This isn't about a Tesla-exclusive dream. No, this is about every car on the road, from luxury vehicles to your average sedan, needing autonomous capabilities. What makes this shift possible? The key is in how we teach AI to understand the world. Gone are the days when engineers painstakingly labeled millions of images, trying to teach AI to recognize objects in static snapshots. The future, as Jensen reveals, lies in video-based learning. This is about creating an AI that can see and react to the world as humans do, recognizing motion, patterns, and context in real time. What's truly staggering here is the scale at which this technology operates. Think about the monumental processing power needed to handle video data on a level that matches how we, as humans, experience the world. NVIDIA's Thor chip is at the heart of this transformation, a processor so powerful it's 20 times more capable than its predecessor. This is the engine behind real-time decision-making, helping cars navigate complex environments with unprecedented precision. But it doesn't stop with the chip. NVIDIA is building a complete ecosystem to support this leap. With the power of NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture, the company is reshaping how data centers operate, laying the foundation for the massive computing needs of AI-driven vehicles. These are the unsung heroes of this revolution. Data centers, processing millions of video feeds, simulating real-world environments, and training AI to make decisions that could save lives and revolutionize transportation. Jensen envisions a world where AI is democratized. Thanks to NVIDIA's powerful AI supercomputer platforms, anyone from developers to creators can harness the power of cutting-edge AI at their fingertips, transforming industries from gaming to robotics to even digital biology. But back to the cars. The concept of full self-driving, once a distant fantasy, is now edging closer to reality. And as Jensen points out, this technology isn't just about getting us from point A to point B. It's about rethinking what a car can do for us. Safer roads, more efficient travel, and yes, a more enjoyable driving experience are all on the horizon. When we look back, we may very well see this moment as the turning point where AI redefined the future of humanity, not just in how we drive, but in how we live, work, and interact with technology. So, with NVIDIA at the forefront, the question isn't whether self-driving cars are coming, it's when. And the answer is sooner than we ever thought. Stay tuned, because the future is arriving at full speed, and it's going to be a ride like no other.
You know, another area that was announced yesterday was around NVIDIA Drive AI and really enhancing and helping the safety and security when it comes to autonomous vehicles. Where do you see that headed with NVIDIA Drive AI?
Well, we've been working on autonomous driving for some time, and it's already some $5 billion business for us. Yeah, and so the way that we serve the autonomous vehicle industry is through the three computer system: one for training the AI, one for simulating the AI called Omniverse, and one to put the AI in the car. And the car AI, safety is everything. And the way that you solve for safety, first the algorithm has to be safe, and so it has to be smart about what to avoid and what how to drive safely and such. But those are algorithm things. Even underneath that, the operating system has to be designed to be safe. The car computer has to design to be safe, in the sense that it can't fail. And if it were to fail, it would fail safely.
Elon Musk's vision for full self-driving cars has always been ambitious. But what NVIDIA's Jensen Huang just revealed takes that ambition to an entirely new frontier. This is about an AI revolution that is fundamentally reshaping how machines perceive and interact with the physical world, starting with the way these systems learn and evolve. Tesla has been a pioneer in autonomous vehicles for years, setting the pace in the race towards safer, smarter roads. But Jensen makes an important point. This future isn't reserved for Tesla alone. Eventually, every single car on the road will need to have autonomous capabilities, not as an optional luxury, but as a critical component for safety, convenience, and even driving enjoyment. This is a future that will redefine transportation as we know it. What makes this transformation possible is a shift in how AI systems are trained. In the past, engineers manually labeled millions of images, painstakingly tagging everything, stop signs, pedestrians, lanes, to teach AI what to look for. This was not only labor-intensive, but limited in scope. Now, the new frontier is video-based learning. By feeding raw video streams directly into AI systems, these models learn how the physical world behaves over time, recognizing motion, patterns, and context much more naturally, just like humans do. This technology mirrors the breakthroughs in large language models like ChatGPT, but with a crucial difference. It grounds AI in the physical realities of space and motion. That requires enormous computational power, which NVIDIA has built an entire ecosystem to support. At the heart of this ecosystem is NVIDIA's new Thor chip, a game-changing processor designed specifically for robotics and self-driving vehicles. With 20 times the power of its predecessor and engineered to run advanced transformer engines, Thor is the kind of hardware that turns Elon's FSD dream into a feasible everyday reality. It's the brain enabling real-time understanding and decision-making in vehicles navigating complex environments. But the innovation doesn't stop with the chip. NVIDIA's Blackwell architecture is now in full production, powering some of the world's largest data centers and cloud providers, from Amazon to Microsoft. These data centers form the backbone of the AI training infrastructure, processing staggering amounts of data and running sophisticated simulations necessary to perfect autonomous systems. What's particularly exciting is how NVIDIA is bridging the gap between massive cloud computing and personal AI supercomputers. Thanks to their AI supercomputer platforms available on desktops and in the cloud, developers, researchers, and creators can now harness immense AI power in ways never before possible. This democratization of AI technology is speeding up innovation across industries, from gaming to robotics to digital biology. Gaming, in particular, stands to be revolutionized. With AI-powered content creation tools, games will not only become more beautiful but smarter and more adaptive. Jensen highlighted DLSS4 and neuroshaders, technologies blending AI with real-time graphics to create experiences that respond dynamically to players. This isn't just about entertainment, it's about AI redefining how we interact with digital worlds. This means Elon's dream of full self-driving might be closer than we ever imagined. And when it arrives, it won't simply be a new feature. It could change the way we live, work, and move forever. Stay tuned as we explore the technology and visionaries behind this seismic shift. The story of AI and autonomous driving is just getting started, and the future is unfolding faster than ever.
Well, Tesla is far ahead in self-driving cars, but every single car someday will have to have autonomous capability. It's safer, it's more convenient, it's more fun to drive, and in order to do that, it is now very well known, very well understood that learning from video directly is the most effective way to train these models. We used to train based on images that are labeled. We would say this is a car, this is a car, this is a sign, this is a road, and we would label that manually. It's incredible. And now we just put video right into the car and let the car figure it out by itself. And this technology is very similar to the technology of large language models, but it requires just an enormous training facility. And the reason for that is because there's videos, the data rate of video, the amount of data of video is so high. Well, the same approach that's used for learning physics, the physical world, from videos that is used for self-driving cars is essentially the same AI technology used for grounding large language models to understand the world of physics.
If you're wondering how Elon's full self-driving vision might actually become real, Jensen Huang just connected all the dots, and it's wild.
We're here with Jensen Huang. He is obviously the CEO and founder of NVIDIA. Jensen, thank you so much for joining us. Huge keynote last night, opening CES up, everything from robots to new gaming rigs. I guess one of the main things that you had mentioned was how we're entering the age of physical AI.
Yeah.
As far as that goes for NVIDIA on the revenue front, when do we start to see that pick up? We have, obviously the self-driving cars, the robotics. We have a robot down there that's giving candy or will.
Yeah.
Where does that start to feed into the revenue stream?
Well, in order to train a robot, you need a lot of data. And the first version of consumer robots that we're all going to engage is a self-driving car. And we've been working on self-driving cars now for some time, and the business is some $5 billion estimated run rate this year. And that kind of puts it in perspective. And the reason for that is because in order to build a self-driving car, you need to train a mountain of data, video data, and NVIDIA's data center business is very important to us. And so in order to build robotics, you need 3 computers. You need the training computer, that's DGX. You need the simulation computer for Omniverse, and NVIDIA is also in the simulation business. Computer graphics is not just for playing video games. You could use it for simulating virtual worlds for self-driving cars. And so the simulation computer is a very big business for us. And the third one, of course, is the robotics computer. All 3 computers are big businesses for us. And so if you just imagine, if just right now where the self-driving car business is, if it's already a $5 billion business for us, imagine how big it's going to be when we have 100 million new cars per year, 1 trillion miles driven per year. This is likely going to be one of the largest robotics industries in the world and one of the largest computing industries in the world.
And then this is the Thor chip right here. This is the
new Thor. Yeah, this is the new Thor robotics processor. It's 20 times more powerful than the last one. It runs Transformer Engine, the Blackwell architecture, and this will go into self-driving cars. It will go into robots. It will go into all kinds of stuff.
Well, the other thing that you guys had announced is a new super chip, the GP10, and that's running in digits. And this is this desktop, basically AI supercomputer.
Yeah.
Right. I guess when you look at something like this, and then you look at the customers that you have, the Microsofts, the Amazons, they're running their own versions of supercomputers in the cloud. How do those two compute? How do they come together? You have someone who could buy this who may not be a customer for them. So how does that work out?
The way to think about that is we have AI supercomputers in the cloud, and but people would like to have an AI supercomputer personally. It's a little bit like personal computer complementing cloud computing. And so we have, in the case of the computer industry, we started in the PC, went into the cloud. In the case of AI, we started in the cloud, we're coming into PCs, into personal computers. And so if you were a developer and you would like to have your own personal cloud, you could get one of those digits and have it all to yourself, and all of NVIDIA software runs on it, which is really a miracle. It runs on something that small, and so everything that you want to do in AI, you could do on that, or you could do it in the cloud. It's up to you. And we want people to be able to access NVIDIA AI however you like to do it.
And all of this is based on Blackwell. And I know during the presentation last night you said Blackwell's in full production. So what kind of uptake are you seeing from customers so far with regards to Blackwell?
Demand is incredible, and we're racing to get Blackwells into every data center in the world. All the cloud service providers have now stood up Grace Blackwell systems. They're liquid cooled and NVLink 72, and we have some 45 factories around the world building the systems necessary to deliver to them. And so it's going to be pretty exciting.
So when does Blackwell eclipse Hopper for revenue share, right? Because everybody's still on, or the revenue from Hopper is still coming in, but then Blackwell, you imagine, was going to take over. So when does that switch happen?
I would suspect probably early this year. I would like it to be as soon as possible, but of course Blackwell is still in allocation, and we're trying to ramp up the production, and but it'll be soon.
He said NVIDIA's self-driving car business is already pulling in $5 billion a year. That's not future hype. That's right now. And he made it clear, this is just the start. There are over 100 million new cars made every year, and NVIDIA's goal is to power a huge chunk of them with AI. Their new Thor chip? It's a beast, 20 times more powerful than the last one. It's designed to run transformer-based AI models, the same kind of tech behind ChatGPT, but inside a car. That means real-time decision-making, learning from video data, reacting to the world instantly. That's what makes Elon's dream of FSD even possible. And then Jensen dropped this. Their Blackwell chip is now in full production, and every major data center in the world wants it. Amazon, Microsoft, Google. 45 factories are building systems non-stop to meet the demand. So when he says AI is entering the physical world, it's not sci-fi anymore. Elon's FSD? It might be closer than we think, because NVIDIA is literally building the brain to run it.
I guess gaming, this is for me, by the way. Gaming is, obviously, was a huge part of last night. How important is gaming to NVIDIA still, with AI being the huge kind of moneymaker now?
Gaming is super important, but gaming as an industry is going to get revitalized by AI. Both the content creation part of it is the cost of creating content will go down because of AI, and the games are going to be more interesting because of AI, and the games are going to be more beautiful because of AI. The technology that we announced last night, DLSS 4, is just utterly incredible, and we fused AI and computer graphics, programmable shaders, and AI into this thing called neuro shaders, and so we've even brought AI into computer graphics, and so I think the video game industry is going to get revitalized by AI, which is really great. But computer graphics is essential to almost everything that we do as a company, and we use it for simulation, we use it for design, and it's going to be a very important part of our business for a long time.
Part of that announcement with the RTX is being able to run AI on an RTX system. So I have a PC at home.
Yeah.
I have an RTX system. I can run AI models.
Yeah.
What does that look like going
This
forward?
is Blackwell. This is literally Blackwell. The Blackwell architecture that we have in the cloud that we use for supercomputing is right here, and so the thing that you'll be able to do, of course, you'll be able to create your own AIs if you like. We have a cloud called ai.nvidia.com, and we put a whole bunch of AI models up there, and these AI models are all prepackaged into what we call NIMs. They're vision models, language models, animation models, physical models, digital biology models. Whatever you would like to do as a software engineer, developer, creative artist, you could go download those models and go create your own AI, and just runs on your PC.
I guess just as a final, we're looking at these new kind of custom chips from the likes of Broadcom. How does that kind of connect with NVIDIA? Where does NVIDIA see the advantage versus something like a custom chip for Broadcom making for a Google or one of NVIDIA's other customers?
Well, the fundamental trend is very clear now. When you take a step back, what it says is that everybody now realize accelerated computing is the path forward. And general purpose computing that we have in the past, $1 trillion worth of data centers we've already built, those data centers are going to get modernized. And so the first takeaway is that accelerated computing is now clearly the path forward. The second thing is we do things that are very, very different. NVIDIA, of course, our architecture is open. It's fairly really pervasive. And as a result of that, you could put NVIDIA in every cloud. You could put NVIDIA in every company. You could apply NVIDIA into self-driving cars, into robotics, because it's so versatile. And so I think the fact that our architecture is literally everywhere makes it the best architecture for developers, makes it the best architecture to innovate on, and it's the best architecture to build new industries like robotics and self-driving cars and others. And so, I'm quite excited about the future for accelerated computing and AI.
What Jensen said next really surprised me. He made it clear, gaming is still core to NVIDIA. Even though AI is driving their biggest revenue now, he's not moving on from gaming. Instead, he says AI is going to revitalize it. Think about this. Creating high-end games today costs tens of millions. But with AI, the cost of content creation drops fast. And the games? They'll look better, play smarter, and even adapt to players in real time. Jensen introduced DLSS4, an AI-powered graphics boost, and a new tech called neuroshaders, which blends AI with real-time graphics. It's not just eye candy anymore, it's intelligent. And here's where it gets wild. That same Blackwell architecture powering supercomputers and data centers, it's now inside RTX PCs. If you have a high-end NVIDIA graphics card, you can run powerful AI models right at home. He even mentioned their cloud platform, ai.nvidia.com, where you can grab pre-built models for vision, language, animation, even digital biology. So whether you're building a chatbot or a video game character that learns, it's all within reach. Then came the question, what about companies like Google using custom chips from Broadcom? Jensen didn't flinch. He said the shift is clear. Accelerated computing is the future. General-purpose chips are becoming outdated. And while some companies make custom chips for themselves, NVIDIA's open architecture can be used by everyone. In every data center, every cloud, every car, every robot.
Jensen, just one more quick last question. I'm glad you talked about the auto business and what you're seeing there. You mentioned that automotive is now the largest vertical, enterprise vertical within data center. You talked about the Tesla business, but what is that all about? Is it self-driving among other automakers too? Are there other functions that automakers are using within data center? Help us understand that a little bit better.
Well, Tesla is far ahead in self-driving cars, but every single car someday will have to have autonomous capability. It's safer, it's more convenient, it's more fun to drive, and in order to do that, it is now very well known, very well understood, that learning from video directly is the most effective way to train these models. We used to train based on images that are labeled. We would say, this is a car, this is a car, this is a sign, this is a road, and we would label that manually. It's incredible. And now we just put video right into the car and let the car figure it out by itself. And this technology is very similar to the technology of large language models, but it requires just an enormous training facility. And the reason for that is because the data rate of video, the amount of data of video is so high. Well, the same approach that's used for learning physics, the physical world, from videos that is used for self-driving cars is essentially the same AI technology used for grounding large language models to understand the world of physics. So technologies that are like Sora, which is just incredible, and other technologies, VO from Google, incredible. The ability to generate video that makes sense, that are conditioned by human prompt, that needs to learn from video. And so the next generation of AIs need to be grounded in physical AI, needs to understand the physical world. And the best way to teach these AIs how the physical world behaves is through video, just watching tons and tons and tons of video. And so the combination of this multimodality training capability is going to really require a lot of computing demand in the years to come.
Now this part really brings it all together. Jensen just confirmed that automotive is now the largest enterprise vertical inside NVIDIA's data center business. That's huge. Even 10 months ago, he was saying it out loud. Cars are the future of AI, and Tesla is leading that charge. But here's what stood out. He didn't just praise Tesla. He made it clear. Every single car is going to need autonomous capabilities. Not as a luxury, but because it's safer, easier, and frankly more fun to drive. And the way we train these cars, it's changing fast. Before, engineers would hand-label millions of images, telling the AI, this is a car, this is a stop sign, and so on. That's not scalable. Now the car learns from raw video, just like how AI models learn language. Jensen says this video-based training is key to understanding the physical world, something large language models can't do on their own. This is where things get real. Think about models like OpenAI's Sora or Google's Video Poet. They're generating realistic videos from prompts. But to make those videos make sense, those models need to learn from video too. It's the same foundation as self-driving, just applied differently. And all of this requires massive computing power, the kind NVIDIA is scaling with Blackwell and their 45 factories. So when Elon says FSD is getting better every month, this is the backbone of that progress. Even 10 months later, Jensen's prediction is unfolding. Physical AI that understands space, time, and behavior, is what's going to power the next generation of cars, robots, and maybe even the AI we use in everyday life.
NVIDIA's first co-packaged option, silicon photonic system, it is the world's first 1.6 terabit per second CPO. This is really crazy technology. Crazy technology.
The world of AI is advancing at a pace few could have predicted. Faster, smarter, and more integrated into our lives than ever before. But here's the catch. None of it works without the right infrastructure. We're talking about the kind of systems that power everything from self-driving cars to the virtual worlds we escape into. And right now, one company is about to change the entire game. In his latest keynote, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang unveils a technology that promises to reshape the future of AI computing forever. So, what does this mean for the future of AI? And why should we all care? Let's break it down.
Okay, so first of all, we're announcing NVIDIA's first co-packaged option, silicon photonic system. It is the world's first 1.6 terabit per second CPO. It is based on a technology called micro-ring resonator modulator. It is completely built with this incredible process technology at TSMC that we've been working with for some time. And we partnered with just a giant ecosystem of technology providers to invent what I'm about to show you. This is really crazy technology. Crazy technology. Now, the reason why we decided to invest in MRM is so that we could prepare ourselves using MRM's incredible density and power, better density and power compared to Mach Zehnder, which is used for telecommunications when you drive from one data center to another data center in telecommunications, or even in the transceivers that we use Mach Zehnder, because the density requirement is not very high until now. And so if you look at these transceivers, this is an example of a transceiver. They did a very good job tangling this up for me. Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh, mother of God. Okay. This is where you got to turn reasoning on. It's not as easy as you think. These are squirrely little things. All right, so this one right here, this is 30 watts, just so people remember, this is 30 watts. And if you get it on, if you buy it in high volume, it's $1,000. This is a plug. On this side is electrical. On this side is optical. Okay, so optics come in through the yellow. You plug this into a switch. It's electrical on this side. There's transceivers, lasers, and it's a technology called Mach Zehnder, and incredible. And so we use this to go from the GPU to the switch to the next switch. And then the next switch down, and the next switch down to the GPU, for example. And so each one of these, if we had 100,000 GPUs, we would have 100,000 of this side, and then another, 100,000, which connects the switch to the switch, and then on the other side, I'll attribute that to the other NIC. If we had 250,000, we'll add another layer of switches, and so each GPU, every GPU, 250,000, every GPU would have 6 transceivers. Every GPU would have 6 of these plugs, and these 6 plugs would add 180 watts per GPU, 180 watts per GPU, and $6,000 per GPU, okay? And so the question is, how do we scale up now to millions of GPUs? Because if we had 1 million GPUs, multiplied by 6, right, it would be 6 million transceivers times 30 watts, 180 megawatts of transceivers. They didn't do any math, they just moved signals around. And so the question is, how could we afford, and as I mentioned earlier, energy is our most important commodity. Everything is related ultimately to energy. So this is going to limit our revenues, our customers' revenues, by subtracting out 180 megawatts of power. And so this is the amazing thing that we did. We invented the world's first MR, micro mirror, and this is what it looks like. There's a little waveguide, you see that on that waveguide, goes to a ring. That ring resonates, and it controls the amount of reflectivity of the waveguide as it goes around, and limits and modulates the energy, the amount of light that goes through. And it shuts it off by absorbing it or pass it on. Okay, it turns the light, this direct continuous laser beam, into ones and zeros. And that's the miracle. And that technology is then, that photonic IC is stacked with the electronic IC, which is then stacked with a whole bunch of micro lenses, which is stacked with this thing called fiber array. These things are all manufactured using this technology at TSMC called, they call it COOP, and packaged using a 3D CoWoS technology, working with all of these technology providers, a whole bunch of them, the names I just showed you earlier, and it turns it into this incredible machine. So let's take a look at the video of it. Just a technology marvel. And they turn into these switches. Our InfiniBand switch, the silicon is working fantastically. Second half of this year, we will ship the silicon photonic switch in the second.
This could completely reshape how data is transmitted. The world's first 1.6 terabit per second silicon photonic system. What a quantum leap, right? This breakthrough is more than just a faster data transfer solution because it's really the cornerstone of a new way of thinking about how data is moved and processed. The key innovation behind this system is the use of micro-ring resonator modulators, MRM, a technology that will drastically improve efficiency and power management. What sets this apart isn't just the raw speed, though that's impressive in its own right. The true power of this technology lies in its ability to handle vast amounts of data more efficiently, with a smaller energy footprint. NVIDIA has leveraged TSMC's state-of-the-art process technology to make this possible, pulling together an ecosystem of technology providers to create this groundbreaking system. The implication here is enormous. A transformational leap forward in how we think about computing infrastructure. But of course, to understand the significance, we have to look at the larger picture. This is more than just about creating faster chips or more powerful systems. They are laying the groundwork for AI's next era. AI infrastructure must evolve rapidly, and this new silicon photonics system is the bedrock for that evolution. As we continue to demand more from AI, more data, more processing, more applications, systems like this will be the ones that power that demand sustainably and at scale.
If you're following Elon's moves and how government policies impact the markets, you need Seeking Alpha. It's my go-to for expert stock analysis to help you stay ahead. Check the link in the description for a special offer. Our channel may earn a commission.
So let's take a look at the video. Just a technology marvel. And they turn into these switches. Our InfiniBand switch, the silicon is working fantastically. Second half of this year, we will ship the silicon photonics switch in the second half of this year. In the second half of next year, we'll ship the Spectrum X. Because of the MRM choice, because of the incredible technology risks that over the last 5 years that we did, and filed hundreds of patents, and we've licensed it to our partners so that we can all build them, now we're in a position to put silicon photonics with co-packaged options, no transceivers, fiber, direct fiber into our switches with a radix of 512. This is the 512 ports. This would just simply not be possible any other way. And so this now set us up to be able to scale up to these multi-100,000 GPUs and multi-million GPUs. And the benefit, just so you imagine this, it's incredible. In a data center, we could save tens of megawatts. Let's say 10 megawatts. Well, let's say 60 megawatts. 6 megawatts is 10 Rubin Ultra racks. 6 megawatts is 10 Rubin Ultra racks, right? And 60, that's a lot. 100 Rubin Ultra racks of power that we can now deploy into Rubins. All right, so this is our roadmap. Once a year, once a year, an architecture every 2 years, a new product line every single year, X factors up, and we try to take silicon risk or networking risk or system chassis risk in pieces so that we can move the industry forward as we pursue these incredible technology. Vera Rubin, and I really appreciate the grandkids for being here. This is our opportunity to recognize her and to honor her for the incredible work that she did. Our next generation will be named after Feynman. Okay, NVIDIA's roadmap. Let me talk to you about enterprise computing. This is really important. In order for us to bring AI to the world's enterprise, first we have to go to a different part of NVIDIA. The beauty of Gaussian splats. Okay, in order.
And like everything else, there's a critical challenge in AI computing that most people don't immediately think about: scaling. Data centers are the backbone of AI, but they face a massive hurdle: the energy required to scale AI systems effectively. As Huang details, when you multiply the number of GPUs in a data center, you encounter a huge problem: power consumption. Each GPU requires multiple transceivers, which are both energy-intensive and expensive. If you scale this to 1 million GPUs, you're talking about 180 megawatts of power just for the transceivers, and the cost skyrockets. Each transceiver can run upwards of $6,000. This is unsustainable for any industry looking to scale rapidly. The heart of the issue here is that energy is the most valuable one in AI hardware. Without it, there's no scaling. Without it, data centers simply cannot function at the level AI demands. This is where NVIDIA's MRM technology steps in. By utilizing this innovation, NVIDIA has solved the energy consumption problem. Instead of relying on the traditional power-hungry electrical systems, they've turned to light-based transmission, using MRM to modulate data with incredible efficiency. This shift is really crucial. It enables the industry to scale at the pace that AI growth demands. MRM technology opens the door to a future where AI systems can be deployed at a scale never before thought possible without collapsing under their own energy requirements. NVIDIA has taken a problem that could have hampered progress and turned it into an opportunity for exponential growth. What we're witnessing here is not just another piece of hardware being unveiled. It's the dawn of a new era in AI infrastructure. As we push forward into an AI-driven future, it's innovations like this that will shape how AI scales and integrates into our daily lives. This is the beginning of something much larger than just hardware upgrades. As AI becomes even more embedded in every aspect of our world, we'll look back at this moment as the silver lining time when the foundations of AI computing were solidified.
In order to train a robot, you need a lot of data. And the first version of consumer robots that we're all going to engage is the self-driving car. And we've been working on self-driving cars now for some time, and the business is some $5 billion estimated run rate this year. And that kind of puts into perspective. And the reason for that is because in order to build a self-driving car, you need to train a mountain of data, video data. And NVIDIA's data center business is very important to us. And so in order to build robotics, you need 3 computers. You need the training computer, that's DGX. You need the simulation computer for Omniverse, and NVIDIA is also in the simulation business. You know, computer graphics is not just for playing video games. You could use it for simulating virtual worlds for self-driving cars. And so the simulation computer is a very big business for us. And the third one, of course, is the robotics computer. All 3 computers are big businesses for us, and so if you just imagine if just right now where the self-driving car business is, if it's already a $5 billion business for us, imagine how big it's going to be when we have 100 million new cars per year, 1 trillion miles driven per year. This is likely going to be one of the largest robotics industries in the world and one of the largest computing industries. You know, the way to think about that is we have AI supercomputers in the cloud, and but people would like to have an AI supercomputer personally. It's a little bit like personal computer complementing cloud computing. And so we have, in the case of the computer industry, we started in the PC, went into the cloud. In the case of AI, we started in the cloud, we're coming into PCs, into personal computers. And so if you are a developer and you would like to have your own personal cloud, you could get one of those digits and have it all to yourself, and all of NVIDIA software runs on it, which is really a miracle. It runs on something that small, and so everything that you want to do in AI, you could do on that, or you could do it in the cloud. It's up to you, and we want people to be able to access NVIDIA AI however you like to do it. Demand is incredible, and we're racing to get Blackwells into every data center in the world. All the cloud service providers have now stood up Grace Blackwell systems, or liquid cooled and NVLink 72, and we have some 45 factories around the world building the systems necessary to deliver to them, and so it's going to be pretty exciting. I would suspect probably early this year. I would like it to be as soon as possible, but of course Blackwell is still in allocation, and we're trying to ramp up the production, and but it'll be soon.
Thanks for tuning in. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share, or drop a comment below. We've got more deep dives coming your way. Stay tuned for the next one. See you soon.